Hi, my name is Lindsay Hesketh, and I'm an attorney with the law offices of Sherman and Howard. This presentation is meant to be a brief refresher on trending topics we're seeing among companies in light of COVID-19 in the context of employment law. We'll go over some issues related to reducing employee hours and/or wages, Arizona paid sick leave laws, vacation time, and paid time off, and some brief updates on Arizona unemployment benefits. This presentation does not address or focus on the new federal legislation. When considering reducing employee hours and/or wages in light of a decrease in business because of COVID-19, employers should remember the distinction between salaried exempt employees and non-exempt employees. Salaried exempt employees must be paid for a full work week's wages if they perform any work during that work week. For example, if your work week runs from Sunday to Saturday, and a salaried exempt employee normally works Monday through Friday, but because of a decrease in business, only has work to do on Monday, that exempt employee is entitled to a full work week's worth of wages. There are some limited exceptions under federal law, but if that exempt employee isn't working the remainder of the week because of a decrease in business due to COVID-19, those exceptions really don't apply here. By contrast, non-exempt employees who are often paid hourly are only entitled to wages for hours worked. In a similar example, if under normal business circumstances, a non-exempt employee is scheduled to work Monday through Friday, but because of a decrease in business is now scheduled to work only on Monday, the employer only needs to pay the non-exempt hourly employee for the time actually worked on Monday. When considering reducing wages, employers should remember the work week rule for salaried exempt employees and start any reduction on a new work week. Likewise, any reduction in wages for a non-exempt employee should start on a future shift or at a future date. And if you're reducing wages, keep in mind that Arizona's minimum wage requirement at the moment is $12 per hour. Wages should not fall below that amount. Both of those scenarios assume there is no employment agreement between the company and the employee governing compensation. If there is, you'll need to look at the specific terms of the contract and follow somewhat different rules if you want to terminate or amend that contract. Some contracts have a clause known as the force majeure clause that may apply to these kinds of circumstances in light of COVID-19. There are also other doctrines that may apply, such as impracticability, impossibility, or frustration of purpose, that would allow one party to terminate or amend a contract. But whether any of these things apply will depend on the specific terms of your contract and your specific circumstances. We recommend you consult with legal counsel if you would like a fact-specific analysis. As most of you know, Arizona has its own paid sick leave laws, which entitle employees to a certain minimum amount of paid sick leave if they're using it for a qualifying reason. In light of COVID-19, we thought it was important to remind people that there are additional reasons under paid sick leave statutes that allow employees to use this leave even if they're not personally ill. Some of those reasons include closure of a business or school by order of a public official due to a public health emergency, or if health authorities or healthcare provider determines that the employee's presence or an employee's family member's presence in the community could jeopardize the health of the community due to the employee's or family member's exposure to a communicable disease, even if that employee or family member has not actually been diagnosed. Another option for employers to consider is that Arizona paid sick leave laws allow employers to loan or advance paid sick leave to employees if they have not accrued that sick leave yet. This is one option for employers if they're looking to expand paid sick leave given to employees. Whether vacation time or paid time off will apply to employees whose schedules have been reduced or have experienced other kinds of changes due to a decrease in business in light of COVID-19 will really depend on your specific policies. We recommend that you look at your specific employment policies to determine whether either of these will apply and whether employees would be entitled to them. Even though this presentation does not focus on the new federal legislation, by now you've all heard of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. For employers with fewer than 500 employees, there are new paid sick leave and extended paid FMLA provisions. This act goes into effect April 1st and is scheduled to last until December 31st, 2020. Some employers are contemplating furloughs and layoffs and have questions about whether severance, vacation time, sick leave, and PTO paid out to employees will affect unemployment insurance benefits. And the answer in most cases is yes. Paying those types of time or benefits out could delay or reduce unemployment benefits. However, for most employees, that amount may be more than the unemployment benefit they qualify for. So it's not necessarily a negative to give them a severance package or to pay out their vacation time, sick leave, or PTO. Whether you have to pay out any of the vacation time, sick leave, or PTO will be based on your specific policies. Governor Ducey also recently implemented Executive Order 2020-11, which waives the one-week waiting period for unemployment benefits. It waives the work search requirements and no longer requires employees to be able and available to work to receive unemployment benefits in light of COVID-19. And states DES will not consider unemployment benefits paid to employees pursuant to the executive order, which addresses COVID-19, when DES is adjusting employer contribution rates in the future. Those are all the updates we have right now based on trending topics. If you want to stay in the loop on what's happening with businesses and new legislation, please visit our COVID-19 resource hub. We'd be happy to provide you with that link. Feel free to email me or check out our website. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time.